Hello all, welcome back to the next one. Before giving you the exercise, I wanted to talk about few changes that I made in Selenium driver class. And please pay very much attention on these changes because all of these are going to be used in the exercise that I'm going to provide you. And they are really critical because the exercise is going to be really engaging and it's going to utilize all the things that you have learned so far. So please pay a lot of attention on this. So the changes include few modifications in some methods and some new methods that I added for you. And they are again, as they are very much Selenium driver methods, all useful. You can use them in your framework wherever you want. So let's go ahead. The first change we will find is this guy, get element list. And wherever I added a new method, I added a comment called new method. So you will very easily see that it's a new method. And in fact, when you're on the top of the page, you can just do Control F or Command F and you can just say new method and you will find all the instances, right? You will find all the instances. So that's one thing that I did. So what this does is it gets the list of elements like this one. So we had a method called get element. It used to get the element for us, and get element list will get the list of elements for us. The only difference is find elements instead of find element. It's very easy. Then I modified element click. So if you see, in every modified method I have written modified. So it'll be again super easy. You can just do Command F, say modified, and find all the modified methods. So you can do that as well. Let me just go through everything right now. So element click, what the change I made is I added a element argument on this method and at the last and made them as positional arguments. The locator also is now a positional argument. The change that I made is if the locator is defined, then it's great. We will find the element by using the same way that we were doing before. But if the locator is empty, so this means if locator is not empty, this line, this statement, right? So if the locator is empty, then we have to provide element. So I have commented this thing out here, either provide element or a combination of locator and locator type. So either you can provide element from outside or you need to provide both locator and locator type, right? You don't need to provide locator type if the locator is ID. So that's obvious. So if you provide element from outside, it will just go ahead and click the element. We don't need to find the element in that case. So that's a small change. Then the same change I made in the send keys method. I made this guy as the optional positional parameter and added an element at the end. And the same condition I added here. Exactly same change. No difference. Then I added a new method here called getText, and this element gets the text on any element. And same thing applies to it. Either we need to provide the element or a combination of locator and locator type. What it does is it just finds the element, and after finding the element, it just gets the text of the element using element.text. This is the property provided by Selenium WebDriver. So it's very easy. Just it looks big because we have added a lot of logging and all those kind of things. Then in this one again, this is modified. Again, I added the element argument at the end. No difference. Then there's a new method that I added. This one is known as isElementDisplayed. So what it does is it first finds the element and then it checks for the isDisplayed method on the element. So it says element dot is displayed and captures the result in a boolean and then returns the boolean for us. So we can find if the element is displayed on the web page or not. And then I added one more method. It says scroll up. So basically I can just say it maybe scroll browsers or something like that. I don't need to say scroll up. So it accepts a direction argument. If we say up, then it's going to scroll up. So, and if we say down, then it's going to scroll down. So we can provide the argument from outside. So maybe instead of browsers, I can just say scrolling. Yeah. Or maybe web scroll, something like that I can say, which makes more sense. So web scroll, this is going to scroll up and scroll down. So these are the methods which we will be using in the practice exercise, and you guys will understand when I'm talking about these ones. Scroll down, is element displayed, wait for element we'll be using. So we have to use every single thing in the exercise. It's going to be really test your all the knowledge that you have learned so far. And if you can clear this exercise without looking at the solution that I provide, just stamp yourself with the certification. You don't need anybody else. You can say that you are a pro in Selenium WebDriver and you can write a great framework, and that's my words. I can very confidently say that if you can do this exercise without looking at my solution, you are just an expert, just an expert. So just please look at this file, guys. I will attach this. And one very small change also I wanted to tell you is that the conf test file, in the conf test I made one small change, that I am importing the login page here, and I am creating the object of the login here, and I'm logging to the application right there in the conf test, in this setup. Why I'm doing this here? Because when we write our new class for test case, we don't want to log in the test case, because this is not related to our test case. By default, we should be logged into the application to perform any other testing on the different pages. So that's the reason I'm putting it here. And for the login page, we will see it at some other point, that how do we deal with that. So that's about it for now. Please do download the file and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for learning this one. I'll see you in the next lectures.